I'm Dorena.
And I'm Caitlin Baltzley, and we give you Tear Down That Wall, Mayor Gorbachev.
What is that thing?
That's almost 12 feet of concrete and barbed wire.
Is that wall reaching all the way through Berlin?
From the looks of it, it seems to be encircling the entire side of communist Germany, along with all you East Berliners.
But when did they even have time to build it? I had absolutely no idea. Because didn't the communist head of state publicly say that they had absolutely no intentions of building a wall just a few months ago?
I don't blame you for not knowing. I didn't know either, but today is the 13th of August, 1961. They must have built this all through last night.
Maybe they changed their mind about building a wall. Maybe the communist government made that decision due to all of us Germans leaving the eastern communist side of Berlin, due to all of the bad living conditions and the bad economy. I mean, the West side always did seem a lot wealthier than ours, but how can you be sure about that?
They've been saying it all over the radio. Haven't you heard?
Not on my side, we haven't heard anything about this. The only things we have heard is that our government's decisions are well thought out and fair, and that we're fortunate to have a communist government.
Have you ever thought that maybe your media is being censored? Because here on my side, in West Berlin, we can say and print what we want. You can't hide the truth with that kind of publicity.
You know, there might as well always have been a wall separating the German government once it split into a communist and democratic party. Oh my god, I have to go see my mother. I have to make sure she's alright.
Well, where does she live?
Oh, just on Leipziger Street.
Whoa, whoa! You can't climb over the wall like that. Do you want to get shot?
Of course not. But what do you mean?
Didn't you hear about Peter Fechter?
No.
Well, he was shot trying to climb over the wall and escaping into West Berlin. And he bled to death because us onlookers here in the West were prevented from helping him at gunpoint. He was known as one of the first victims of the Berlin Wall.
That is horrible. I just can't believe it. Would a government really order their own guard to shoot their fellow man? Would a fellow man really shoot women and children trying to escape? I can't believe that things have come to such extremes here on the eastern side. The reason why this conversation would have never really happened is because traveling between the west and the east side was prohibited, along with telecommunication and provocative music and broadcasting that was not communist.
What did you say?
Something about communist media and about...
There is no talk of such things here in the East. All these American presidents like Kennedy and, what was his name, Reagan, putting fickle ideas in the heads of our community. We have pride in our own sovereign state.
But aren't we all part of Germany?
No, not since the Basic Treaty was signed in 1972. It finally established normal relations between us and the western side. Relations based on equality and upholding of territorial integrity and the border that we built.
So,
we are now recognized as independent from the West.
So did that form diplomatic ties between us and the western side?
Yes, it did. Now, excuse me, I hear that Reagan is paying our friends in the West a little enlightening visit. Who knows what kind of discord that may bring?
Ooh, I hope I'll be able to hear some of the speech. There are rumors that some of our radios on the east side will be able to illegally pick up some of his speech because, as we have heard the rumors, the speech is being broadcasted as far west as the United States coast and as far east as Russia. That is just amazing. Oh, gosh.
I don't know if I can make it through this.
Yes.
Chancellor Kohl, Mayor Dipkin, ladies and gentlemen, 24 years ago, President John F. Kennedy visited Berlin, speaking to the people of this city and the world at City Hall. Well, since then, 2 other presidents have come, each in his turn, to Berlin, and I myself make my second visit to your city. Our gathering today is being broadcasted throughout Western Europe and North America. I understand that it is being heard and seen in the East as well. To those listening throughout Eastern Europe, a special word. Although I cannot be with you, I address my remarks to you just as surely as those standing before me. For I join you as I join your fellow countrymen in the West. Well, in this firm and this unalterable belief. Es gibt nur ein Berlin.
There's only one Berlin.
Behind me stands a wall that encircles the free sectors of this city, part of a vast system of barriers that divides the entire continent of Europe. Yet it is here in Berlin where the wall emerges so clearly. Here, cutting across your city, where news photos and televisions screens have imprinted this brutal division of a continent upon the mind of the world. Standing before the Brandenburg Gate, every man is a German, separated from his fellow man. Every man is a Berliner, forced to look upon the scar. President von Weizsäcker said, "The German question is open as long as the Brandenburg Gate is closed. Today I say, as long as the gate is closed, as long as the scar of a wall is permitted to stand, it is not the German question alone that remains open, but the question of freedom for all mankind. Yet I do not come here to lament, for I find in Berlin a message of hope, even in the shadow of this wall, a message of triumph. In the communist world, we see failure and technological backwardness, declining standard of health, and even the want of the most basic kind, too little food. Even today, the Soviet Union still cannot feed itself. After these 4 decades, then, there stands before the entire world one great and inescapable conclusion. Freedom leads to prosperity. Freedom replaces the ancient hatreds among nations with comity and peace. Freedom is the victor. We hear much from Moscow about new policy of reform and openness. Are these the beginnings of profound changes in the Soviet state? Or are they token gestures, intended to raise false hopes in the West, or to strengthen the Soviet system without changing it? We welcome change and openness, for we believe freedom and security go together, that the advance of human liberty can only strengthen the cause of world peace. There is one sign the Soviets could make that would be unmistakable, that would advance dramatically the cause of freedom and peace. Secretary General Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come to this gate, Mr. Gorbachev. Open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Thank you. Thank you.
Huh. 1989 was such a busy year. Ever since Ronald Reagan came to visit to Berlin and gave his speech, all these diplomatic events have been put into action. Just listen to this part here. The communist Hungary, oh gosh. Okay. Just listen to this here. The communist Hungary opens its borders restrictions with Austria. Or this part. The communist Hungary also opens up its borders for East German refugees. Wow, isn't that just amazing? You know what else? According to the newspaper, the Eastern German government actually allowed the travel between West and Eastern Germany. It is finally legalized that they can visit each other. Families can be reunited.
Does this mean I can finally see my mother again? Just down Lipsinger Street? Why do we even need this wall anymore? Couldn't we just bring it down?
You know what? You're right. This wall really isn't keeping anyone prisoner any longer. Wow.
Look over there!
What?
Over there by the Brandenburg Gate. Look at all the people surrounding it.
Oh, I see it. I see it. All these people celebrating something. Oh, isn't there someone giving an opening speech? Oh my God. It's December 1989, and the Brandenburg Gate is finally opening.
All this happening reminds me of when Ronald Reagan came and gave his speech here.
And look at all these positive diplomatic happenings that have come from it. Wow.